November 6. Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige to meet with stakeholders in health sector in Abuja today. On the foreign scene, man arrested after making a bomb threat near Congress building in Washington, D.C. I am Ifeemi Andrew. A state high court in Port Harcourt has stayed the execution of another high court that delivered judgment on the release of 150 inmates. Recall that the Rivers State government, through the Ministry of Justice, sought to set aside the judgment, but when the matter came up for ruling on an application seeking to stop the execution of the said judgment, Justice Chiwendu Nwogu ruled that the suit is for public interest and that an appeal that has been filed by the state government. Lawyer who filed the suit, Nasiru Ibiloye, said he will appeal the ruling, staying the execution of the judgment that released his client.
The court has made a judgment of on certain grounds. Because the judgment interest of the public. That's what the court said in his wisdom. Said it's granting it in the interest of the public. They just filed to so appeal, and that's what they're fighting today. But what we're doing is that we're going to challenge this ruling and test it in the court of appeal. Today ruling, we're going to challenge ruling and test it in the court of appeal. The law must be developed, and that's what we want to develop.
A resident of Port Harcourt, simply identified as Res, says he was harassed and the sum of 150,000 naira extorted from him by some men suspected to be officers of the State Police Command. Speaking with our correspondent, he said the men accused him of being an internet fraudster and handcuffed him at a checkpoint along the Obirikurumbo by NTA access of Port Harcourt in the evening of yesterday. He said the men were driving a pickup van with Operation Sting written on it.
From far, I saw that the road was blocked. I was already scared because something like that happened before. So I was stopped. Immediately they saw that it was a boat. They asked the boatman, "You should go. I should come down." So I came down. When I came down, they asked for my phone, and he told me that I'm a Yahoo boy. And that's how much do I have? Then he handcuffed me and put me in the car. He told me if I have 1 million to pay. I told him that I don't have 1 million to pay. He said, okay, fine. He will take me to EFCC.
Mr. Rex said he was forced to withdraw money from his account at a POS point before he was allowed to go.
Since it got to that point, I had to agree and give him money or else I would not live there because I was already handcuffed in the car. So I told him, okay, fine, I will give him 50,000. He was like, I'm joking. They should do this, be going. He asked of my ATM. I was with 2 of my ATM. Since I had some money in my account, he said, fine, if I don't have 300,000, I should forget about it. Then he now came down again to 150,000. So he took my card and I was like, if I'm ready to go, I should go and withdraw. So there was no ATM there. I had to go to the POS before they let me go.
This is not the first time this incident has been happening, as a final year student of the University of Port Harcourt was also extorted some time back. Rivers State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of a suspect in the shooting death of a final year student of the Rivers State University. Spokesman of the command, Nnamdi Omoni, who did not release the identities of the suspect and its victim, said investigation is ongoing.
If I don't have 300,000, I should forget about it. Then he now came down again to 100.
I am aware the situation has normalized. We have arrested one of the assailants and recovered the locally based guns, including some cartridges. Investigation has been ordered by the Commissioner of Police. The person arrested is helping us, and then the next boy has been declared in Kwachari. What I have now at my disposal is investigation, and that's what I have given to you. As we progress in the investigation, I will get more details and let get back to you.
In the meantime, the Rivers State University has dispelled online reports that the school is unsafe following the shooting that occurred on Thursday morning. The university, in a statement signed by its registrar, Sidney Eyinda, urged parents to ignore the reports. A professor of journalism at the University of Northern Iowa, USA, Chris Obunda, has urged communication lecturers in Nigeria to go for industrial training if they want to impact current knowledge to their students. Professor Obunda gave the advice while speaking as one of the guest lecturers at a pre-conference event organized by Association of Communication Scholars and Professionals in Nigeria.
There's something wrong with a lecturer going to the industry to do a 1 month practical learning experience of what is going on today. Many lecturers of journalism, of media studies, did media practice 20, 30 years ago. What they learned was analog. Today, things have changed. Media platforms have changed. Nature of news has even changed. Then whatever I learned there, I come back to the classroom and share that with the students and let them know where the industry is today. The industry that are going to work in tomorrow, where that industry is going. And the students connect with it better than me teaching the same thing I learned at the University of Nigeria more than 30 years ago.
Also, Carrie B. George, who is a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations practitioner, was among those that spoke on the life experience of a communication professional.
Sufficient cognate experience to be admitted as at least an associate member. I was given graduate member and advised to go and write exams. So I took the advice literally, wrote the exams, and by the grace of God, that has actually broadened my horizon. Knowingly or inadvertently put you down. Don't let that cause you to despair because you know you are much better than that. These are the ways one has grown step by step, going up to the pinnacle of professional ranking, which is a fellowship grade.
On his part, former head Department of Mass Communication in the Rivers State University, Dr. Baragbon Nsereka, spoke on the essence of organizing the prehistory series of the body.
The pre-conference is basically to create awareness for the main conference, which is coming up on the 1st September. We have told you that we are committed to advancing this communication in Nigeria. The membership composition is global, so people will be coming in from the Netherlands, from US, from Europe, from other parts of the world, some physically and others virtually. So many will be joining us via Zoom. We have partnership with national, continental and global bodies like UNESCO, UNICEF and others. So
our correspondent reports that yesterday that the ACSPN event saw journalists, including other communication professionals, speak on their life experience and challenges. The Rivers State Ministry of Education says it has started refunding the 2021 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination registration fees to students in all public schools in the state. The statement said principals of public schools who are yet to submit bank details of their students should do so without delay. It also called on parents and guardians to reconcile bank details of their children and wards with relevant school authorities. President Muhammadu Buhari has reappointed Ishaq Olayede as Registrar Chief Executive of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board for a second term of 5 years. The President also approved the reappointment of Professor Abubakar Rashid as Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission for another 5 years and Hamid Boboyi as Executive Secretary of the Universal Basic Education Commission for a second term of 5 years. In a statement, the Director, Press and Public Affairs, Federal Ministry of Education, Ben Gong, said the appointments were based on the recommendation of Minister of Education, Adamu Adamu. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, says the NMA has waded into the industrial face-off between striking resident doctors and the federal government. The Labour Minister spoke on Thursday after a meeting with the President at the State House. He told State House correspondents that the government will invoke the no-work, no-pay policy on striking doctors. He also said he would be leading a federal government delegation to meet all critical stakeholders in the medical sector today in Abuja. Still ahead, INEC picks October 7 as date to publish final list ahead of Anambra governorship election. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has reaffirmed the date for the release of the final list of candidates who will partake in the Anambra governorship election holding on November 6, 2021. At a meeting, the Commission agreed to publish the final list on October 7. According to a communique by INEC's National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, the date is the same contained in the timetable and schedule of activities for the election, which was released earlier. Ahead of Anambra governorship election. A Port Harcourt-based photographer, Bright Uche, says the profession could be a solution for youth unemployment in the country if the government invests in the sector. Mr. Uche, who is speaking on the sideline of World Photography Day 2021, said the profession is now a source of livelihood for many youths.
Photography has helped a lot of youth, and not just youth, people in general. Like me now, I study public administration. This is not what I'm doing. Photography is not putting food on my table. Photography has been a great help to people.
Mr. Uche, popularly known as Celebrity Phil, also spoke on the challenges faced by professionals in the field. He called on government to provide funding and platforms for training young photographers.
Sometimes you will do what you do, your clients will be like, this is more church stuff. Secondly, the pricing. So people are going to see your work and they'll need something like that. They'll charge you up, they'll be like, how much you charge? If they tell them this is what I charge, they'll be like, whoa, it's more. Pricing has been an issue when it comes to professional photography. To make our work easy, we need government support financially. If they should create something like full application to get professional photographers to teach the youth that does not have a job.
World Photography Day is marked every August 19 to celebrate the art, craft, science, and history of photography. This year's theme was Pandemic Lockdown Through the Lens. In business, some gas vendors in Port Harcourt have explained why there is an increase in the price of cooking gas. The vendors who spoke to our correspondent blamed the price hike on the high cost of refining and distribution of gas. The vendors called on government to ensure the country's refineries are functional, as this will go a long way in reducing the price of gas.
January this year, we used to buy the gas 3.8 to 4 million. But right now, as I'm talking, 8 million. And nothing can do. And we have to put all that into the sales of our product. If it's remedy, well, it's only government who have the power to remedy the situation.
When we carry our goods, we transport it to outside Nigeria. They refine it. We will also bear the cost of bringing it back to Nigeria before they begin to sell. And that is why the cost of the gas is high. If there is any way we can be refining our gas here, then the price will be a bit low.
Like what I have gathered so far, they said the price of crude oil is high in the oil market. Now the price of crude oil is going up. That's what is affecting the gas price. But if you have refinery in Nigeria, all those things is being processed here in Nigeria, at least the price will be okay for us.
In entertainment, after 17 years together and 7 years of marriage, entrepreneur and children's retailer Anita Okoye has filed for a petition to divorce her husband Paul Okoye, a former music duo P-Square. The former couple shared 3 children together. Anita and her kids relocated to the US a few months back. In sports, Chelsea duo N'Golo Kante and Jorginho have been shortlisted for the UEFA Men's Player of the Year prize for the 2020-21 season alongside Manchester City star Kevin De Bruyne. European football's governing body made the announcement on Thursday. The winner will be revealed at a ceremony in Istanbul next Thursday, August 26, when the draw for this season's Champions League will also take place.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
A man has been arrested after making a bomb threat near the Congress building in Washington, D.C. The man, identified as Floyd Ray, surrendered hours after the threat was made. U.S. Capitol Police had been negotiating with the driver who had parked the pickup truck near the Library of Congress across the street from the Capitol building and Supreme Court. His motives remain unknown. Police officers were said to still be searching the vehicle at the time of this report. On the news this afternoon, you heard that President Muhammadu Buhari has reappointed Ishaq Olayede as Registrar Chief Executive of JAM. Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige is set to meet with stakeholders in the health sector in Abuja today. INEC has picked October 7 as date to publish final list ahead of Anambra November 6 governorship election. On the foreign scene, we told you that the man has been arrested after making a bomb threat near the Congress building in Washington, D.C. Contact our newsroom on 0809000017. The news was edited by Noho Omeviri. For more stories, visit our website at www.nigeriainfo.fm. Light showers expected in Port Harcourt this afternoon. Thank you for listening, and bye-bye for now.